Good evening and welcome to Truth Prevails. I am your host, VonTrue. This is a show where we tell you we're shining a light on everyday greatness. Today with me as my special guest, I have a lovely musician and actor, Jaymes Lyrie. Hi, Jaymes.
Hey, how are you? I didn't know you were going to call me Jaymes Lyrie. I thought you were going to say Jamie Lincoln Jr. Because I had all these names.
You do. You're so
Maybe
mysterious.
James. I know.
So mysterious.
I work at it.
Can we tap into that mystery right now a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're such a creative. Let's get some background on that.
Gosh, I've always been creative. I probably started writing songs when I was maybe 7, like 7 and 8.
I as well.
You too?
Yes.
Yeah, I can look back now and see that that's what I was doing. I don't know what I thought I was doing then, but
right.
Yeah, I was writing, and I really enjoyed the pen. I enjoyed writing ideas. It would be a big deal for like Mother's Day or something. I would write some little rhyme or something and give it to my mom, and she was, "Oh, that's so nice,"
So heartfelt.
Yeah, and I just I remember writing really, really, really young.
Did you always think you'd be an actor too?
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
I used to write plays.
Ooh.
As a kid, as a kid, I would get neighborhood kids, and my best friend Dominic would build, he he could build anything, and he would build sets. And we would stage these plays, three people in the audience.
For the whole block.
For the neighborhood, but it was like Sunday show, Saturday show,
Fun times.
Yeah, and so as we're talking about it, I really remember always being creative, and I was the only child.
Oh, beautiful.
So I think that had a lot to do with my sense of creativity and the possibilities of just what can come out of your mind. I was by myself most of the time. So.
Was your family always more so accepting to your creativity and your expressions?
Yeah, I was always that was who I was. Yeah.
Beautiful.
For the most part.
Jamie just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We would do, my cousin and I would do these shows for Christmas for the family.
But I can only imagine how them home tapes are.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
You probably laugh at those today.
Or burn them, but no, yeah.
Where's the matches?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
No, but creativity, it's everything for me. It's
absolutely.
Like air.
Has there ever been a time where you, in your life, where you actually went to another route? In terms of position,
sports or something,
like maybe sports or corporate or whatever type of job that you have to get into in order to support yourself.
Sure, yeah. The hustle continues. You're always looking to continue to manifest income.
Yeah.
Because the creativity that's not really what drives it. It's something you have to do.
Yes.
It's not like a job you have to do. It's like creativity, you do it whether you get paid or not, because you just have to do it.
Absolutely. It's in the heart. It's in the soul. You got to put it out.
It's why we're here. Each person. And creativity can come in different forms. It doesn't have to be a painting or music. It could be, I think each person has their stamp. And
absolutely.
What they're here to express. But yes, I'm sorry, I got away a bit. But
no, it's okay. I understand. Dance, sports, it's all creative measures.
But I've worked
marketing.
jobs. I've worked regular. Where I've been behind a desk and been kind of miserable, or I've worked desk jobs where I'm sitting there and I'm able to create while I'm doing. I use it.
Really?
Use the time. Yeah. If depending on what the gig is,
What was probably the worst one that you've done?
The worst?
Yes.
Gosh, that's hard to measure. Because all of it was at certain times in my life when I wasn't appreciative for the space. I would it just was all bad, in my mind, because I want to be doing this.
How did you drive through when you felt like you weren't appreciated?
I can't remember what it was specifically, but I remember it hit the idea that we're the creator.
Absolutely.
Hit me in a way that resonated, and And something I read that said something that you would do, that phrase, find something you would do for free or passion that you're into and figure out a way to tap into that.
Mm-hmm.
Along with the idea of serving all together, it was easy for me to come up with like, okay, this easier to do this job here because I know what I'm going to do. You know? So I came up with a plan of how I would tap into certain frequencies, I would say. And that's what helped me push through, was because I could create this. I don't have to. It's not going to show up from outside of me. It could, but it doesn't have to. It's usually inside. So, in other words, more creativity.
Yes.
Instead of like, I want to create this, I got to create a way to create this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Isn't
so the creativity
beautiful?
Never ends.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's kind of been how I push through. More creativity. Keep thinking of ways. Whatever it is that you're seeing or you're desiring, what could be some paths to get there? And maybe you're limited. You might even have 10 and say, well, this is how I'm going to do it. Maybe you got to keep creating more ways. You know what I mean? Other ideas, other options, other ways, whatever.
How has that helped you, progress in your successes at this point in your life? Actually, let's just hear about a few things that you have accomplished and how it has made your life feel more fulfilled.
That's great. I want to do that, but I want to say something really quick about that.
Let's go.
So I've had some placements. I've had several placements in film and TV projects.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time being really down in that space of, feel like you're beating your head against and you're trying to get there, wherever that is. But when you get there.
Oh, God. I know it so well. Yes.
And one day I just, and this may sound so esoteric or too metaphysical, but this is honest to God truth. I remember sitting on my bed and just being at a complete loss and saying to God, God, I need a miracle. I need something. Show me something. Something that says that just keep going. Give me something.
Yes. Yes.
And interestingly enough, kid you not, the next day, this was already scheduled though, this session that was supposed to take place. I had a song that I really wanted to record, and there was these two girls who had a group and they wanted to record it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, that's my song. I want to keep it for me. And they were like, and so I was like, well, okay, well, let's record it on both, and whoever makes something happen with the song is their song. So I'm the next day that session happens, but before the session happens, they call me and they say, we got some really good news to tell you. And so I said, what? And they wouldn't tell me. So when they got there, they told me. Yeah, I know. So then when they got there, they told me that they had a meeting with this big director, and that they sang him a phrase, just a couple of bars of this song, and he liked the song. And that if we could get the song, this was a Thursday, that day when I had my little moment,
mm-hmm.
and Friday is the session. And so they got there Friday, and they said, if we're able to complete the song, get it mixed and mastered, by Monday, he's going to put it in his movie. And
that's no big deal.
Long story short, we ended up doing that. I mean, there was a great payday for everyone. And
oh, beautiful.
This film was a success, and then they did a second soundtrack and put the song on that soundtrack. And
beautiful.
It was just all this kind of thing that happened. So the reason why I preceded that with not really want to be too metaphysical, it's just a lot, like I said, it's inside of you. And I think I must have really believed that something would show up because I was feeling so desperate in that moment. Desperation is not a good feeling, but
it's not, but that's exactly when it comes through.
But a lot of times it comes through when you're just, and you have to believe that what you're asking for will reveal itself.
Yes.
And so that's always something that stuck with me. And it's been so many scenarios where it was not necessarily me asking for something, but me just kind of throwing it away. But what you throw away to you is what actually comes to you.
Beautiful
so many
perspective,
things.
Yes.
But just letting it go is how it comes. But when you're trying to get it and fish for it and pull it and make it happen.
Yes, but you're trying to control it.
Yeah, it's the surrender, I think, that
little did you know it was already in your hands.
It's already in your hands.
Yeah.
Exactly, that part. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm so enlightened to hear that story. You never told me that one. That's beautiful. What other projects or successes have you felt that moment in?
Gosh, that moment? Yeah, there was another one. But, I had a moment where it was another placement. And so once that soundtrack was released, I scoured all the names, looked for the names, who was associated with the project, and made calls trying to build on it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why I thought to do that, but I did. And made a contact with someone who was a music supervisor. And he's, I was like, I have other music, I had some song that was in this movie and blah, blah, blah. And he said, cool. And he was like, a lot of other people I reached out to, they like were hanging up on me and just like weren't nice. But this one person was super cool.
Perseverance for sure.
Yeah, and he was really cool. So he said, reach out, keep in touch. Feel free to keep in touch, something to that effect. And so I didn't email him or call him all the time, but I did just every blue moon. I would think, let me reach out to this guy. His name was Carter, and maybe 6-7 months later, maybe it could have been a year, I don't know. But by that time, we had kind of built a rapport where I would call.
Yes.
He was like, hey, what's going on with you? Blah, blah,
yes.
blah, blah. So I called and I said, hey, Carter, just checking in. He oh, hey, how you doing, Baby Jaymes? And they call me Baby, so whether one of my aliases. And so
so many.
I know. So he says,
mysterious.
I know. So he's so mysterious. So then he says, dude, I'm glad you called. I think I might have something for you.
Beautiful.
And he tells me the whole theme of this whole, the synopsis of the film.
Yes.
And turns out, so I don't know if you heard this film, but it's called Malibu's Most Wanted.
Ha!
Yeah, you know that one?
Yes, from a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. So he tells me, he's like, he tells me the synopsis, and he's like, he tells me the whole thing. And I said, okay, I'm going to try to, he said, don't make anything, though. Just send me something that you might have. Don't make anything. Well, I went that night and made something.
I know you did. That's how you feel. It comes to you like that when you hear it, you know?
And I went and made something that night, and then I don't know if I drove or if I took a bus. I'm not sure, but I went straight to L.A. I think I drove. I went to L.A.
From San Fran?
Yeah.
How long is that drive?
Like 6 hours.
Oh, love.
And I went to that.
That's real drive, okay? Yes.
I took that drive, and then I called him and said, hey, Carter, how you doing? Oh, yeah, how you doing, man? It might have been a day or maybe 2 days later. And he's like, I'm like, I just happen to be in town. I'm helping a friend move or something I said. And he says, where are you? I'm like, I'm right outside the studio. I was at the office, it's like Warner Brothers, I think. And he's really, you're kidding. Like I said, I've been talking to him about it
yes,
for a while now.
yes.
So he's like, well, I'm gonna send your name to the guard shack and I'll buzz you in. So we go in there. I was like, so Carter, I have this song I did. What you made? You got a song? I was like, yeah, I think it's perfect for the movie. And our song was called Most Wanted in Malibu. And his song, the name of the movie is called Malibu's Most Wanted. So I'm like, I'm doing everything I can to make this song just really fit, And so he's like, really? Okay. He's like looking like, I don't want to play this, He's like, man, I really would normally play this in front of the person because I don't want to. If I don't like it, then I have to tell them,
But that's what you came there for. You came for the real.
He didn't know that, He didn't know that. He thinks I'm here to move my friend, So I play him he plays it. He's like, man, I like this. Man, I you know what? I want to see if we can use this. So he's like, he said it has to go through the director. It has to go through, it has to go through his guy over him, who's a music soup. Then to the director and Jaymes, the producer, everybody involved.
Yes, of course.
Jaymes Kennedy.
Yes.
And so he plays it. Long story short, he plays it. I go back home. I'm back on the road. I'm back to Oakland. I'm telling everybody, well, I didn't tell him anything.
Warner Brothers love my music.
I didn't tell him. No, I didn't tell him anything. I just, because I wanted to wait until he gave me some more feedback because he had to play it for his guy.
Of course.
So his guy liked it. The director liked it. Jamie Kennedy liked it. Everybody liked it. And I was like, now I gotta tell, because I had my cousin was a co-writer, and so I had to come some co-writers on the song. It wasn't just me.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You had to tell your people.
Yeah, and we had a track that we used, and so whatever. So
did you get into the movie? I'm so enticed.
I know you really want to know, right?
In the movie.
So he I tell everybody we think we're gonna be in the movie, and next thing I know, I get a call from his assistant Melissa, and she calls me baby. She says, "Hey baby, Carter wants to talk to you," and I'm like, I could tell from her voice, this is not good. So Carter gets on the phone and he says, "Hey man, they really like the song and they wanted to use it in the intro, but it's too slow.
Yes,
It's just not working." I said, "No, it's okay. I'll speed it up." It's like, and I kept everything he would say. I would try to say, whatever. And finally, he said, "I'm sorry, man. It's not gonna happen." And I was just like so bummed out. So I'm sitting at home and I'm bummed out, and it's a Tuesday night, and I just keep thinking about how close I had gotten to this intro of this movie,
Right.
And so,
how did you flip that into a success? Because I know you did.
I did. So I called a friend of mine who was at a studio. This artist, Raphael Sadiq,
Yes.
Tony, and so he was that's his uncle. So I called him and I'm like, so hey Al, how you doing, man? I'm just talking. Just what are you doing? And we normally don't talk like on the evening. We normally talk in the daytime or something. And he said, "I'm just sitting here." He says, "I said, what is Raphael working on?" He says, "He's not recording. They're doing this thing where they're playing a joke on these artists. I think it was DJ Quick and a DMC from Run DMC.
Yes.
And I said, "What's the name of the show?" Because I know that Jamie Kennedy had a show that was like a show like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "What's the name of this? What's the name of it?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. It's this. I don't know. I've never seen this dude before." And I'm like, "I think it's this guy. I think it's Jamie Kennedy." He's like, "Who is Jamie Kennedy?" I said, "Al, stop." He said, "They're leaving, dude." I said, "Stop him. Ask him is his name Jamie Kennedy." He's like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" I said, "Man," and I'm trying to tell him the whole story about the song, and I'm like, "Dude, we don't have time. You're telling me they're leaving, and we got to stop him." And this is like 2 days after they're telling me it's no good, right?
Yeah.
So he stops him, and he's like, I hear him on the phone, and he's like, "Hey, dude, man, like, my friend thinks he knows you,
He felt so awkward.
Yeah. So he gets on the phone. Jamie gets on the phone, and I'm like, "Jamie, I'm Baby Jaymes. I'm the one who did the song, blah, blah, blah." I tell him the whole story.
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, that song was cool." I said, "But, dude, they saying it's too slow now for the intro." And I'm like, "Why don't you get on the song as the character B. Rad that you play in the movie, and then we submit it for the soundtrack?"
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me. Take my number down." So I call him. He puts me in contact with his manager. Next thing I know, we're going down to the L.A. We only have 45 minutes. We got to get Jamie to record these vocals. He only has 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And so we get there, we record him, and he's calling the guy who runs Universal, the head guy, like, "Yo, I really got rhymes at home, man. Like I could do this so much better." And they're like, "No, we got to get this in tonight. Like this has to fly out tonight because it's going to press and blah 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 blah." I mean, we're literally pressing this to the dime. We're literally running out the Postman, what is it, UPS truck is leaving out, and we're flagging them down. Like Melissa stayed late at work and everything.
Running them down.
Yeah, like, yo, and we're holding the package. We're holding the package, and he finally stops, and the gates are open. It's like a scene in a movie.
Yeah.
It's like
oh my God.
And the gates are opening, and he finally stops. And because there was so much traffic from us getting to Hollywood
all the time.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. So we finally flagged him down, and we handed it to him. And so next thing you know, we're on the soundtrack, and then we ended up in the movie because they added it to the end. So remember, so now we got 2 placements in this film,
Beautiful.
But this was all from it's all so.
You believed in it. You didn't give up.
Yeah.
At your lowest point, it came to you.
Mm-hmm.
It was already in alignment. You just didn't see it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It came to you.
Exactly.
And you pushed for it because you believed that the truth would prevail. That is absolutely beautiful.
It's great.
That is beautiful.
And so Carter, I called him. He's like, "How did you do? What's going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. We're in the studio now." I'm just like, how did you do that? I'm like, I don't know.
Yes.
It's a matter of just, like you said, prevail.
Yes.
And see it, and just, it'll match you. It'll match your energy. That's really the point
Absolutely.
of it. It matches your energy.
When your frequency is there, that's when it will come to you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
What great things are you working on now, Jaymes?
So now, I mentioned to you earlier a little bit about this, but I don't want to say who necessarily, but I am working on an adaptation of an entertainer, and it's a short film.
Mm-hmm.
And we've written a script, and we'll be shooting in October.
Beautiful.
And that's what I'm working on. I'm actually really studying that, only listening to that, only vibing on that frequency, as you would say. And so that's what I'm working on.
It has some music to it, yes?
It has music, and it's musical. It's musical. I dance. It's music, and it, yeah.
I love to hear more about it when it comes closer.
You will.
Yes,
you will.
I must.
I want you to be there for the screening, if we do a screening or something.
I would love to. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much for bringing your beautiful story here to Truth Prevails, because we love to bring this to our audience, where we're hearing how you overcome your absolute struggles, or overcome the ordinary, holding back on yourself and holding back on your creativity and holding back on your talents because you feel like you have to survive, when life is way more than that.
Yes, no doubt.
Absolutely way more than that.
Know that.
And you allow your creativity to drive through and take you to where you know you belong.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's give it a little more on that. Do you have any no, you're fine. Do you have any more words to say on
nothing more than, and again, this may be too esoteric is the word I use, but it comes from within. Everything that's showing up in our lives, even the things that we don't think that we want, we're playing a role in it. Like, you have to be a vibrational match for whatever it is that's showing up, even if you don't like it. And not to get political, but just, we can look at someone or something and that's representing us and say to that, and we don't like that, but as a collective, that's our voice. That's actually who we are. And so if we don't like what's showing up, then we have to change what's inside, so that which you want to show up, well, you're reflective of it. Your friends, everything's reflective of one self.
Yes.
And it may seem like my philosophy, but it's a law. It's just a law.
Okay, it definitely is.
And so some of the things that showed up for me, what people would think, well, they would say, well, that's just a coincidence, or that just. But for me, it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So much that I know now that this is just a law. It's just how that works. Not my law, but a law of the universe. It's just how it works.
When you raise yourself to that vibration, whatever you put out, you get it right back. And when you raise it to that vibration, what's meant for you comes to you. And that is such a beautiful point.
And gratitude can go a long way in raising the vibration to a higher frequency.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're grateful, the things that you might dismiss and say, well, this is just small.
No. Everything
it's all real.
matters.
It's all what you make it. That is so real and sounds so cliche, but it's all what you make it.
Literally, because we are the creators.
Yeah.
We are always at
the creators.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful.
And I even look at some of those stories and think how some of the it was a challenge, because that was the way in which I needed to see it to receive it.
Yes. Absolutely. It's a huge on perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Perspective, how you see it, and what you know that you can manipulate out of it in a positive way to make it yours. Yes. Yeah. I'm just looking at, it's like those things, if I dismissed them even, I wouldn't even understand them. I couldn't even share the story because I would have missed it. I would have thought that but I get what happened in every scenario. I could do these scenarios with you all day. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you have many more. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But I just admire your strength, your perseverance, and the fact that you did not give up whatsoever when it came to knowing what you wanted to do and bringing it to light for yourself and for your life. Sure. And not only that, for others around you as well. You know, because you said you had co-writers. You were like, everyone was on this, but I wanted to make it happen.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes.
You were the driving force for it.
Yeah.
To the point where you drove from San Fran
we had to bring our studio.
to LA.
We didn't have a studio. We had to bring our studio.
Your own studio.
You know, at that time it was like a bit of a board. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but it wasn't a computer.
Yes.
It was probably the computer and, you know what I mean, that kind of thing.
Yes.
But yeah, we it's so funny.
So crazy, right? You create it and you make it happen.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and those were my first credits that helped me get so much other stuff.
Of course.
Those were the first credits, and it, again, taking whatever it is and making more of it. Like I said, finding out who all the names that were associated with that soundtrack. I started calling them, and then I found this one guy who led to the next placement, and who called me for other placements later.
Yes.
You know, so it's building of these relationships and
building relationships is huge.
Yeah, and again, he was a certain kind of spirit, a certain kind of energy that we just connected.
That frequency.
Yes. So raising one's frequency is important.
Absolutely.
Because if you're always mad and always bitter,
Thank you.
You're always going to keep running to those people, and you're like, people always piss me off, but you're always pissed off.
You don't want that. Thank you for being so open with us and having us understand these things. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for being here in your busy schedule. We greatly appreciate your presence, Jaymes.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of you.
And have a good evening, you all. Thank you for watching Truth Prevails.